Hi, everyone. My name is Audria Green Hawkins, and I am here today to talk about the 2024 trends in small business and the look ahead. So we're going to talk about where we are as far as small businesses go, where we're going, and the fastest growing businesses for 2024. So let's get started. Okay, so where we are, let's start there. Small businesses, just to note, hopefully many of you are small businesses or would like to become small businesses, which is why you're here. But it's good to know that small businesses are still trusted. And I wanted to include that here because the Gallup survey is still saying currently that 65% of Americans still have confidence in small businesses and they trust them. More so than they trust the medical system and Congress, which is actually really good. But small businesses remain the most trusted businesses in the US, which is a great thing for small business owners, for people who want to still be in small business. A few things have happened and are currently happening. The Inflation Reduction Act, which some of you may have heard of. It is helping small businesses. It's helping Americans invest in the deficit to reduce inflation. Also, it helps manufacturing. It's helping reduce the amount of taxes that small businesses pay. And there are a lot of flaws to it, but there are also a lot of good things to it as well that will ultimately help small business owners. There's also ways that getting loans and funding from the SBA can become easier, and actually other institutions. So they're making it easier. So in August, I don't know if many of you heard, but in August, the SBA, they implemented policies that they would take the burden off of lenders to do the background checks or to determine if a small business owner is eligible for a loan. And instead, the SBA is going to manage that. And in that process and streamlining that process, it removes the criminal background checks, which the SBA had before. And it simplified the underwriting process for loans that were less than $500,000 or $500,000. And it does not require collateral for people that want loans under $50,000, which is easier for ultimately small business owners to get funding through the SBA. And there again, lenders are the subcontractors, but the SBA is the one that is going to fund it. This is definitely the very positive thing. I think the most positive as far as what's going on today. Since COVID, since 2021, and I put this in here, and I thought it was very important. 15 million applications for new business owners have been filed since 2021. 15 million. That's huge. And along with that, Black business ownership is growing at the fastest rate it has been in 30 years. Before that, we were working for corporate America. Now people are wanting to own their own business. They want to control their own destiny, which has led to Black wealth being up by a record of 60%. And Black unemployment is at its historic lowest. So that's an obviously awesome thing. I thought that was important to know. So that's kind of a quick look at where we are, some of the key touch points of where we are now. Where we're going. So let's take a look. I'm going to spend probably the bulk of the time talking about this, and then the other half talking about the hottest trends as far as businesses, new businesses, or businesses that are trending right now. So let's take a look right now at where we're going as far as small businesses and what's trending for 2024. AI. So there's a lot going on here, and AI is for people that are not tech savvy, people that are afraid of it, and they're like, I hear about it, but I don't really know what it means. I wanted to kind of go into it a little bit. What does AI stand for? It stands for artificial intelligence, which means that it is not a human. It is really artificial intelligence. And what exactly does AI mean? It refers to basically computer systems. They're doing things and they're giving you answers, performing tasks that were historically designed for humans. AI can reason, it can make decisions, it can solve problems. It was, designed for, you can ask it a question, it'll give you immediate data. If you wanted to create an exam or create anything, it can give you questions. It can do the work that it would have taken a human hours and hours to do. You get it in a few seconds. So that's really what it is and what it was designed for. It saves time, it increases engagement. It's great for social media, which is what a lot of small business owners are using it for now, even if they're not using it for a lot of the logistical things. They're using it for social media, creating images, video, email marketing, which can really, really help your business. So again, I wanted to kind of tie into that a little bit. How can it help your small business? Customer support service, chat box. The chat box are who you'd ask the question to. So for those that kind of have a question like chat GPT, you'd ask the question to the app or to a chat bot, and they'll give you an answer to the question. So they can intelligently handle a variety of tasks, including booking appointments. They can assist with purchases. They can help you understand logically what a customer is looking for, their needs, which before you would have had to do a lot of analyzing and talking and trying to rationalize it yourself. This is where AI is going to help you cut the time to do that. Logistically, it can help you become more accurate in delivering goods without any humans having touched any other hands. It can also give you an edge over competitors because it can give you what your competitors are doing in an instant versus you having to look it up, read it. It can tell you in an instant what your competitors are doing, which is important for a small business. Online retail, it is really helping because it personalizes orders. So if you have a business, whether it's a service-based business or whether it's an actual retail business, it can help you provide a service to a consumer that it will personalize it for the consumer based on the answers to a few questions, which is pretty important, and it saves a lot of time. And for retail businesses, it's saving a lot of time. I'm not sure if anybody's heard about it, but for retailers, they can, with AI, they can see what the product looks like before they actually purchase it based on their body type, height, weight, etc. And it's an augmented reality, but it can show them what it looks like. So the customer doesn't have to buy something that doesn't necessarily look good on them. But they have the opportunity to kind of try it on without being there. So that's a key thing. I will also say that I put a little data in here because I thought that was important, that 91% of small businesses that are currently using AI, they felt like it made their business more successful. So for those that are a little bit hesitant to use AI, just kind of start using it in small ways, introducing it to the business and see how it can benefit you. Even if you just use it with social media, even if you download an app and use it to ask a few questions, you don't have to dive into the AI world, but just to kind of give it a try and see what you can do with it will help you out a lot. So I would say start there. Soft skills and the human touch still are key as far as conducting business. I will say, as much as we are digital now, you hear a lot about artificial intelligence, AI, it's the hot buzz right now. Soft skills and the human touch is still the right now. So in saying that, 77% of consumers believe that the positive customer experience still requires human interaction. We all still like to have a voice on the other end. When we make a phone call, most of us want a voice. There are a few people that still that they don't mind having an automated message, but most of us want to hear a voice because we want to be able to ask the questions that we may not be able to ask an AI or a computer. Also, we want to have a connection with a human. So again, the human touch is definitely still where we are right now, along with AI. I would like to say there's changes in the hiring practices. Also, when it comes to AI and the human touch, AI is now screening a lot of the applications when we apply for positions. AI is doing the screening, and AI is only going to be as good as a computer, as technology inputs into it. And I say that to say, before, when AI looks at it, it's looking for specifics from a resume, from the data that you've input into the resume or into the application, as opposed to a human looking at it, and they can see things that AI may not be able to see. So that's how we still need the human touch. And I say that because the AI may weed out someone by age, as opposed to an actual live human may say, I don't mind the age. I will take the age because I have the experience. But AI doesn't have the qualifications to do that right now, the technology to do that. So we still need the human touch. In 2024, we'll see organizations that will be increasing their investment in nurturing their employee skills. If you have a small business, and I'll talk about that shortly, if you have a small business, nurturing their skills and attributes of all of your employees, tapping into your employees' emotional intelligence, communicating with them, interpersonal problem solving, all of these are important, and thought leadership. Employees now want to feel like they're making a contribution. They want to feel like they're being given some sort of authority to make some decisions, although they're not the owners, but they want to feel like they're not just a worker. They want to be able to contribute. And that is something that, providing being the owner or the manager of a business, it provides you the ability to do that. So again, just remember that soft skills is still definitely in. The customer experience, I will always say this, no matter how many webinars I give, or how I talk to people, I will always say that the customer experience is everything. Price, product, quality are important, but the concept of the consumer experience, it reigns supreme. What does this mean for business and for your business particularly? Creating a positive customer experience at every level. If it's a service-based business, whether it's a retail business, online, brick and mortar, customers want a customer. They want an experience, and they want a positive one. So you want to meet the customers where they are, whether that's online, in person. You want to personalize their journey as much as you possibly can. So although they're shopping online, although that can be very impersonal, you still want to kind of make it, you want to tie it into it being a very positive experience. Consumers want the experience of shopping in person, because now that we can get out post-COVID, consumers want the ability to go out and meet people where they are. They want to shop in person, but they also want to have the ability to shop online. They want to have the omnichannel approach to shopping. I am one that I love to have the omnichannel approach, because I want to be able to go online and look at it. I want to be able to touch and feel it in the store. But I also want to have the ability to purchase either in person or in the store. I also want to have the ability to call and find out some information if what I'm seeing online, if I don't see what I need. I also want to have the ability to pick up the phone and call the store or call the service-based business and ask more questions. So again, you want to make sure that however the interaction is with the client or the customer, that is a very positive one, and that they have a great customer experience. Another important thing is you want to be sure that small business owners have the ability, okay, to make it easy for customers to have a positive e-commerce experience, I guess we can say. You want to make sure they can find you easily. You want to make sure they can purchase your products easily or enjoy your services without having to call, but they should have the ability to do that if they like. You want to blend all of this. Also, since COVID, curbside has been huge. It started strongly. I guess it boomed during COVID, and it's still very strong. Curbside pickups is definitely something that even a small business that has 1 or 2 people, you want to be able to offer the ability for a customer to purchase online and maybe pick it up curbside, even if you just met them on the curb, because everybody doesn't have the time, nor do they want the time to come in and shop, or to pick up something if it's a service. They don't want to have to do that. So to make it as convenient as possible, it leaves that customer with a positive experience. So things like that, however you can make the connection with your customers is important, and you can think of out of the box ways to do that, but that's the key here. And also remember that customers are taking a greater control of their journey. Customers tell you how they want to shop. They tell you how they want to use your business, what services they want, and how they want it. So they're taking more control of their journey instead of just saying, instead of you just as a business owner saying, this is what I have to offer, and they take it or leave it. It's not really that way anymore. Things have become more customized. You want your business owners to all get together to find ways to make it a positive approach for the customer. So in saying that, it kind of ties up my customer experience. And this one I am going to talk about more in depth, diversity and inclusivity. Here is where a lot of, I talk to small business owners, and we all hear about diversity, inclusivity, but small business owners, or if you're not a large corporation, they think about, how can I contribute? What can I do because I'm just a small business owner? I only have 1 location, or I just offer this service, or whatever that may be. There's a lot that you can do, and there's a lot of ways that you can contribute to diversity, a lot of ways you can contribute to inclusivity. So I'll start with expanding your customer base. And some of these you may never have heard of as it affects DEI. Expanding your customer base, basically, you want to be sure that you are known in your market. So to grow the market, you have to expand your potential client pool. People want to shop where they feel valued, and you have to take the time to understand who your customers are. And I hear people say all the time, everybody's my customer. Well, no, everybody's not your customer. Although you want everybody to shop your business, know who your target is, understand who they are, take the time to understand what they like, what they do, where they live, where they shop, where they eat, understand all of that. And in expanding your customer base, I will also say, consider your marketing images and language. Be mindful of where and how you market your business. If you want to get new clients, and I thought this was cute, you have to fish in new streams to hook different fish. Consider culturally competent communication. Train your employees and train everybody who works for you, everybody that you kind of meet, and it helps you build a diverse client base. So expand where you are. If you know that you want to get more sales, try to reach out to a wider audience, a wider client base. Then you have to broaden your horizon. So meaning you have to determine how you're going to market to that new customer base. So consider the marketing images and consider the language. How you market to one client base may not be how you market to another. So that's one way you can think about the diversity part of it. Connecting to your community is the next one. A lot of people don't think about it. I don't know how many people have chambers in their areas, and how many are part of the chambers that are in the area, but the chambers of commerce in whatever neighborhood, in whatever area, township that you belong to is a huge part of doing business. They can be invaluable. So I know a lot of business owners don't think about it, but becoming a part of your community that you do business in is definitely going to expand your client base, because as when you become part of your business, which is you, become part of the community, you then start to expand your client base because they start to know who you are. You are a member of the chambers of any neighborhood establishment, organization. They know who your business is. You start to gain a reputation and a name for yourself. So you're doing this with very little money because they really start to connect with you. And that is connecting to your community at almost very little or no charge, just becoming part of it. Less stress and increased workplace harmony. Let's think about that one. Increase morale and innovation, and key characteristics of a culturally competent workplace. So you can increase your morale. I think as a small business, you don't think about morale because you have a person working there and you're like, I don't have that many people. What can I do? Well, you can. So you want to make sure no matter who works for you, no matter how many people work for you, that the morale is there. You want to make sure they're advocates of your business. You want to make sure that they're knowledgeable, they're trained, they feel like they are part of it, although they don't own it, but you want to make sure they feel like they are a part of the business because they're the ones that are going to help you grow that business. So think about that and try to tie them into it, get them engaged in it. And that way it also creates long-term relationships with them, and they don't leave so fast because they really are happy where they are. So however you can do that and think about what they want, hear their voices, think about what they say they want from the business. That is important. What do they want? And a lot of times they become just as invested in the business as you, although they don't own it. So try to have conversations, whether it's having meetings with your team, even if it's you and one other person. Have a monthly meeting. What are you hearing? What do you think? Hear their voice and have them become engaged and vested in your business. And the more they're vested, the more they're going to perform. And it increases workplace harmony. I can't stress that one enough. Cancel-proof your small business. Cancel-proof your small business. You can do this by, and I've had businesses that say, well, how do I do that? I'm just a small business. A culturally competent organization will never have to worry about being canceled or making the news for the wrong reason. If, for instance, there is something that happens where a mistake was made on behalf of your company, you can take responsibility for it. People love when you take responsibility for whatever the mistake is. You give a genuine apology, and people usually are willing to forgive you, which means they'll shop you again. They'll use your business again because you took responsibility and ownership for whatever it is, instead of just saying, oh, well, I won't be bothered with them again. I'm done with them. And you may think that anyway, but you still took responsibility for it. But it goes a long way. So think about that. Hiring talented employees. I wanted to put this in here and add this and talk about it really briefly because I really believe it's important. Talent comes in all ages, shapes, sizes, and colors. There is a lot of unconscious bias, sexist, ageist that was happening pre-COVID. And although it wasn't said a lot, it would seep into the hiring process. Now, after post-COVID, people need work. DEI has become extremely important. People are now looking at the experience. They're overlooking the things that they were looking at pre-COVID. So they're not just looking at shape, sizes, and your color and so much, and your age. So people are able to get positions based on their experience and can they do the job. So that's what is more important now, and to think about in your business as well. And AI can't do that. So that is another point that I just kind of want to tie that into AI. It can't do that. Having a sustainable business. Okay, so research continues to show that consumers increasingly prefer companies with a solid commitment to reducing their environmental footprint. This being said, a lot of the Gen X's, millennials, they want to know that whatever business company they're doing business with, they love sustainability. And the more we do business with, Gen X, millennials, and basically anyone who's concerned about the environment. They want to know how sustainable is your business and how are you doing whatever you can to protect the environment. And although, small businesses we are, what can you do? Whatever you can do to contribute is what customers want to know. And that's where, again, think about it. And I would tout that as my business. I would tout it in and talk about it to your clients, your customers, as it can be a great marketing tool to actually improve your business. So think about how you can improve your sustainability and how you can talk about it and how you can relate that to customers. People want to do business with people today that they know are practicing sustainable business. So how can we do that? Look for opportunities to reduce energy consumption, greenhouse, like here I put some examples, assess your internal practices to reduce your footprint. You want to reduce waste. A lot of companies, if possible, are letting employees work remote or hybrid. Before COVID, you did not see large or small, a lot of companies having remote or hybrid positions. It was just not the norm. Now, seeing a position posted, usually now it either states in-person, remote, or hybrid. That is a huge thing. We've come a long way since COVID as far as hiring. And having someone being able to work hybrid or remote, it saves waste. It saves travel. It saves gas. It saves the energy. So it can do a lot. You can elevate your own business's long-term environmental impacts in the form of packaging, product lines, things like that. So whatever you can do to talk about how you are improving the footprint, it will help you. It would only help your business. Also think about, the hiring advantage of when you do that as well. I put 3 key examples down here of the way companies now are just small ways that when you think about sustainable business, small things are doing that people are like, oh, okay. Like Walmart, they reduced their spending on fuel when they transitioned to an EV delivery fleet instead of just gas. L'Oreal, they develop personalized and cosmetics, and a lot of other companies are doing that as well, developing personalized cosmetics. So it's personalized to that one person instead of just, the general foundations out there that don't work, or cosmetics. Nike has been doing it for a while. And other manufacturers, they're offering custom shoes. So they've been doing it for quite a while, but it also contributes to helping the environmental green print. So it builds stronger relationships with the customers as well. So just think about little things that you can do that can help, you in your community, and as far as being considered a sustainable business. Any questions on that? All right, so I am going to go back to this whole remote and distributed work topic. I mentioned it like a slide ago, but it's no longer about companies surviving the pandemic. It's about offering flexible arrangements, valuing a person or employee's time, and this gives you access to a global workforce. So you don't just have somebody that works in Chicago, they may work across the country, but they're working hybrid or they're working from home. This is huge because now people are understanding that workers, although you work for a company, you do have a personal life. So, in that being said, I would like to say that it's not going to go away. Hybrid, remote, it's not going to go away. As having a wider footprint across the global workforce is not going anywhere either. Workers returning to the office has been a thing for the past 12 months once we've kind of started to transition out of COVID, but employers are also now giving employees that they weren't before the opportunity to work at home or at least work 2 days a week, 3 days a week. So again, this is not going to stop. It's only going to continue. If you have a computer person, an IT person, someone doing data analysis, things like that, they may be able to do hybrid or remote, as opposed to you having an office space for them, which means you don't have to have as large of an office space. which means that they don't have to travel. You don't have to pay for them being there, et cetera, et cetera. So think about remote and distributed work. It's not going away. It's still huge. Resilience, preparing for economic uncertainties. Everybody wants to know, how do we do this, especially a small business owner? So ensure your organization is protected from whatever threat is around the corner. As a small business owner, these are the things that we encounter constantly. Threats to your business could be cyber attacks. It can be the economic downturn, which we always experienced during COVID. Environmental events, war, global pandemics, which we all have just come through, or the emergence of a new disruptive new competitor, which that has happened. So these are just some of the things that could disturb your business, or disturb your business performance. How do we kind of become resilient against that? Think about the companies that have gone through this and survived. How did they do it? One of the things is to be proactive in that. So you want to make sure that you always want to know what's coming, or try to know what's coming as far in advance as you can. I will say that, and start to make changes. Don't wait until the threat is actually there before you make the change. If you think it's coming or know it's coming, start to make changes then before it gets there, because that will only help you, and then you're more prepared once the threat actually hits. So my first bullet point here talks about the Federal Reserve raised the interest rates 11 times since March 2022. They did this to cool inflation. Hopefully, the rates are going to fall in 2024. That's where, predictions are indicating may happen. But 11 times since 2022, who was prepared for that? I'm sure most of us were not, especially small business owners. We really weren't prepared. There's no uncertainty about where the U.S. is headed. Obviously, this is all predictions. But economic uncertainty can allow businesses to focus on what they can control. So think about what you can control. If it's your budget, if it's your staff, if it's the spending that you're doing, what can I cut back on and keep money for when it does hit, so that you're ready. So if you know things are coming and you've already, narrowed your staff to where if anything happens, this is where I am, I can make it. That's what you have to do. If it is cutting your assortment plan, cutting the services you offer, or changing what you offer because you know something is coming, which we'll kind of talk about later. But changing the product offerings, your service offerings to accommodate where we're headed, and it's coming now, that could be something you can do as well. But whatever you can do to head off so that you're not being hit so hard would be a great act of resilience. High interest rates can mean that financing is more expensive right now. And for a business owner, that's huge. And it's definitely hard hitting. Put a system in place that you can manage your cash flow to better prepare you. So what does that mean? Managing your cash flow. Again, I just mentioned if you need to cut your staff, I hate to say that, but if you need to tighten it up, tighten how much you're spending on marketing, tighten your assortments, tighten your service offerings. If it's shorter hours to cut costs, whatever it is you need to do to manage the cash flow, that's what you have to think about. Economic challenges may impact your employees as well as you. So not only are you affected, your employees are affected. So the cost of living in the US has, I don't know, it's skyrocketed. I don't even want to say quadruple, but skyrocketed since COVID. Food is more, cost of living is more. Salaries are not increasing that much to keep up with it, but yet people still want to work. So they're still living on a budget. So you still want to try to remain as competitive as possible, and you want to keep your workers, but how do you do that? So those are things you want to look at. You want to weigh the factors like your competition. You want to weigh the labor costs. And I know the hourly wage has gone up. That has increased. Budgets, you want to look at your business projections as well. So you want to determine if a pay increase really makes sense to keep your employees, or does it not? If it means, adding some other incentives to the business to keep your employees, that's not necessarily a pay increase, but how can I do that? And what can I offer them? So it's things like that that make you resilient, because the last thing you want to do is lose a key employee when you're having issues. So you also want to definitely think about all of the things that could possibly impact your business negatively. Data is an increasingly valuable business asset. Thinking about data. Right now, by 2024, more companies will have streamlined their operations and improve their customer offerings by taking a strategic approach to their data. So think about this. As a result, monetizing the data that you receive. So we've talked about AI, what you can do with it, some of the things you can do with it, not everything you can do with it, actually. As as you have AI now and more companies are starting to use AI, you have access to data that you didn't have before. So what does that mean? You have data to statistics, you know, who's doing what, when they're doing things, your competitors, marketing, you know, what rate of return, all of these things you can get from the data collected from AI, and it can help you make decisions in your business. Also want to think about data collection, which ties into data, which ties into, I'm sorry, the cybersecurity. So when you think about that, when we use our smartphones for anything, at the airport, you use your smartphone to scan your ticket if you've ever flown and used that. You use it if you've gone to a concert and they scan the barcode. If you have an app, you return something, and here is the barcode to return something. More and more people are concerned when they're being asked to use their smartphone for things like that. And it's definitely a concern that they should be concerned about. So 67% of smartphone users are concerned about the data breaches on their phones and the privacy, which is something that now there is cybersecurity insurance that small business owners can have, because believe it or not, small business owners are hacked as well. And being hacked is not fun. As a small business owner, taking the steps to, I won't say cybersecurity proof your business, you can't ever be 100%, but you want to take, I guess, you want to avoid some of the risks. There is cybersecurity insurance. You can add extra security. You can add extra software. You can add multi-step authentication. You can limit what you share with your employees. You can have it like larger companies where your employees can't go on the internet on a company computer, things like that, which invite opportunities to be hacked. So it's a lot of things that you can use that not necessarily you think about, but there are a lot of things that you can use. Another step is you can, wherever you take payment, don't do that on your computer, do it on another device so that the two aren't tied together. So there's other things that you can do that will help you manage some of the cybersecurity, and it will protect your clients' data as well. But as you are using data and collecting it, there's more out there. So you want to try to manage it and control it as much as you can. Again, nothing is 100%, but you want to manage it as much as you can being a business owner, because the last thing you want to do is be responsible for a hack and your client's information is compromised. So think about that. Alternative payment options is a thing. I know small business owners, and I am the outreach director for Goldman Sachs, and we have a lot of business owners that don't have a lot of alternate payment options. Although a lot of them, most people don't take checks now, most people don't have a lot of alternatives. They'll take a credit card, but there are other ways that people now are making payments or wanting to have, the ability to make payments beyond a credit card. So now, as small business owners, everyone needs to know what the options are and determine which is best for their business, but they need to see if they can provide alternative payment options in addition to what they currently have. So mobile phones, again, scanning a mobile phone. Do you have that technology? People will ask, do you have Apple Pay? Do you have Venmo? I'm not saying to use anyone and that anyone is the best, but I am saying have options for your non-cash transactions beyond just a credit card machine, because there are other ways now that people would like to pay that don't want to carry cash. So with the onset of all the new technology, people are carrying less cash, and small business owners need to become more aware of what's there and what the alternatives are, and then decide what's best for their business. So again, I mentioned Venmo, I mentioned Apple Pay. There's the mobile wallets. People are using their smartwatches. So things like that. Are you able to take payments using those for people that don't want to carry a credit card? Are you able to keep up with the trends as far as alternative payment options? So think about it. So something to think about. Okay, so if anybody has any comments or questions there, let me know before we begin with the industries that are the hottest trending and that are expected to boom for 2024. So let me know. Okay, so let me go ahead. So let's get started here. So what I see, what I've been reading, what I've been hearing, I work with small business owners, and I work with a number of organizations in the small business industry. Anything wedding related right now is going to be huge. So if you have a business that is tied to the wedding industry or related in any way, and I said think diamond rings, and I should have included any jewelry, diamond rings, dressmaking, alterations, photography, printmaking, bridal stylists, wedding planners, DJ, caterer, cake baking, anything like that. Now is the time to try to figure out and determine how you can either expand your business to include some of that, or you can you want to incorporate it into your business, or you can actually start a business. Think about when people during COVID, people had postponed their weddings, and they didn't want to get married because they couldn't at the time, because they couldn't invite their relatives, etc. Different reasons they couldn't travel. Now, post COVID, they said around typically 2.8 million couples get engaged in the US. Of course, the pandemic put that on hold. With the gradual return of the pre-pandemic lifestyles, they expect the rebound to be 2.4 to 2.5 million engagements this year. So think about the number of people that are getting engaged, and think about where you can make some of the revenue or generate revenue out of that industry. Going back to the next one is going back to AI. So artificial intelligence, anything AI related is going to be huge. It is not going away. About 97 million jobs will be created, although there will be some that will be eliminated, and that is a concern for many people. There are still going to be jobs that will be generated around AI, but it is not going away. If anybody, and I'm sure some people that are on here that are listening, have heard of ChatGPT. ChatGPT, you can download an app on your computer, you can download it on your phone, and they're just one of the AI apps that you can download and ask it anything, ask it questions, and it can give you intelligent information. So again, it is not going away. Anything that you can do in that field is going to help you boost your business. Residential remodeling, I can't say enough. If anybody has a home, if anybody's in the business, in the industry, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, general contracting is all for the past 4 years has been on the rise. People, the interest rates have caused people that have homes currently not to go out and maybe buy another home because the interest rates are high right now. And during COVID, when people decided, when COVID decided that we were going to work from home, people wanted to improve their living space. We were in it for extended periods of time. We saw all the things that were wrong. We wanted to just redo the kitchen, our office space, bathrooms. We wanted to redo things in the homes, which then produced this huge influx of remodeling. Home improvement stores were doing well. Contractors were doing well, backed up, behind, lots of work. And as a result, anything home related has become a hot topic and a hot thing right now. And it's still going strong even after COVID. Bathrooms, kitchens still remain the top remodeling areas. But if you know anybody in those fields, or if you want to get into those fields, any of these are still very hot, still trending, not going away, because people want to still do things in their homes, and residential remodeling is not going away. Solar panels, it has been a slow start. People have initially were like, what is solar panels? But now anything solar panel installers, businesses, I know several people that have solar panel companies, and anything related to it, electricians, roofers can get into it, and start their own businesses, because it is coming. A lot more people, I'm sure you've seen, that have solar panels on their homes now. It is not going away. There's federal funding for it. So there's a lot of business. This industry is expected to grow 22% in the next 8 years. So it's only going to improve. And then thinking about it, that kind of brings me into smart home installers. Strangely enough, smart home installers, or that industry, has actually taken on its own field. And who'd have thought? The average home has about 20 devices, smart devices, which makes you think, and you're like, wow. So since the average home has about 20 connected devices, smart devices, new homes are being built that are smart homes. So this whole smart technology is not going away either. And now people are hiring people to come into their homes and set up these things. People that currently have homes, they want to add the smart technology into their homes. So they're paying people to come into their homes and build and create more of a smart home for them. So, and connect their devices. So becoming a smart home installer or creating a business around smart homes is trending really heavily right now. Restaurants, cafes, food services, anything that you have food related is trending. If you live around Chicago, anybody that lives in the Chicagoland area knows that we are a foodie town. We have food. We have some of the best food in the country. Most people know that Chicago, we're known for food. There are now the food trucks, the food stands, the whole, I'm sorry, what do you call it? There's whole things around food trucks and food stands. So it is taken off like crazy, the food service industry. If you don't have the funds to start a restaurant, the food truck industry, food stands have taken an amazing turn, and they are trending. Most restaurants don't have a lot of employees, so it's an easier business to get into because they don't have a lot of, they don't need a lot of workers. So it makes it you and another person, can get into that business because you don't need a lot of employees to make it work. Although the price of food has increased, we still eat out. We still spend money on food. We still spend money on dining. And again, Chicago is a huge market for that because we love food here, and we have every category of food here, no matter what it is, 24 hours a day. And that's what we're known for. So if you live here or if you have a business in the area, it's only going to increase. So think about it, 500,000 jobs are going to happen just from the food care industry. Home healthcare workers. This is a growing industry because we have a lot of baby boomers. We have a lot of people that are growing older, and they're not going to nursing homes. They're staying in their homes. So think about, as a way to stay in your home, you have a home healthcare worker. Those businesses are booming. It can be tedious, but you can create a home healthcare worker, a business that you hire home healthcare workers to go into the homes, and you can get contracts and do that. And it has taken off quite a bit. Also, traveling nurses, that industry has increased, where nurses will travel with their patients as they're traveling, whether it's in country or out of the country. They travel with their patients, so the patient doesn't have to go and not have a nurse with them. And it allows them to be able to not just be, in one spot. They can actually travel and have a nurse go with them. So that's a huge industry that is actually growing right now. Personal advisors and credit repair, that is an increasing industry right now too, because people are now concerned if you're getting older, if you're concerned about having enough money for retirement or thinking about it, financial advisors are still one of the fastest growing industries. Also credit repair, a reputable credit repair business is what people are looking for to help them understand. And when I say credit repair, it's not just for credit repair. There's now businesses that are helping people understand how to make their credit work for them, what impacts their credit. Is just basically helping them understand how best to maneuver using the credit that they have and what they should and should not do, what accounts they can open, what accounts they shouldn't open. So there's the credit advisors, I guess you can say credit repair, credit advisors that are helping them understand how to use the credit that they have to get the things that they want and how to generate money. So those are industries that are trending really heavily right now. And then massage therapists, surprisingly enough. And why did I single out massage therapists? I singled out massage therapists because years ago, people went and got a massage, but now more and more people are getting massages, men, women, whether it's stress relief, they're realizing that I need a massage for stress. I need a massage for various reasons. If it's pain, if it's a sport injury, but they're needing a massage more often. So massage therapists, and especially if they're really good, are creating businesses around this. And they're being mobile. They're going into workplaces where the person can get it done while they're at work, or they don't have to leave work. There are different parties around it, different events that are tailored around massage therapists. So it's a booming industry. You just have to tailor it around what it is you want to do, make it very kind of specific and a niche business. But it is definitely trending. Pet care and animal trainers is trending. Since COVID, a lot of people had animals, they adopted pets. And people who have pets know they become your babies. They become, like children. So in saying that, pet sitting is expected to grow into 2030. 60% of households have at least one pet. And think about it, in 2022, people spent $136 billion on pets. That's huge. So the job growth in animal care, service workers related to pet care is expected to grow 29%, almost 30% through 2031. So I was looking at that and thought that's a great industry to tie into your business or to create now because of that. Manicures, pedicures, technicians. So men and women now are getting manicures and pedicures. Years ago, more women were getting it. I'm not saying men never got it, but more women were getting manicures and pedicures. Now men, just as many men are getting manis and pedis as women. With that being said, there's more money being spent. So there's an 81 billion personal care market out here on manis and pedis and self-care. So definitely an industry that you can create a niche business for, target it, but these are huge businesses that are trending really, really strong right now. Cybersecurity professionals, I've kind of talked about that, but anything in cybersecurity, if you know this business, you can generate a lot of income and revenue around this business right now. Because cybersecurity, and especially if you have something that's tailored to particularly maybe a small business, you specialize in cybersecurity for small business owners, things like that, you could generate revenue because small businesses need security. Thinking about small businesses, most people don't think they do because I have this little business, or it's just, I have a few employees. We all need it right now. I know several small businesses that have actually been hacked. And you think, well, why them? But they were actually hacked, and they had to pay or start over in their systems, and just kind of discard everything that they had. But the one that had a medical clinic, they ended up paying. So small business owners need cybersecurity. So think about this is a trending industry. So with that being said, before I kind of go into Goldman Sachs and what we do, please let me know if there are any questions. All right, so if there are no questions, I am going to start talking about Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, which I am the outreach director for. In saying that, I am gonna start this with, my name is Audria Green Hawkins. I am with Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses. If you would like any of my information here, my email is agreenhawkins@ccc.edu, and my cell phone number is 773-425-0888. Now, I'm going to talk about the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Program. This is a free, no charge business education program for small business owners. No charge. All you have to do is qualify. It is paid for and sponsored by Goldman Sachs. 10,000 Small Businesses, but Goldman Sachs, the company. One thing you all need to know is, and I'm going to start this with it before I talk about the program, it is an amazing program. It has been in Chicago for about 12 years. And we have over 1,200 graduates of the program in the Chicagoland area, over 14,000 nationwide. So in Chicago, the program is ending in person. So we have one more cohort that business owners, people can apply for, and that is going to be for the summer cohort, which the deadline is going to be January 31st. So if you've not heard about the program, please ask if there's a question I missed. If you've heard about the program and been meaning to apply, please do so now, because we are ending the in-person cohorts as of the summer. The summer is the last cohort, and that summer program begins May 9th and ends August 9th. But the last you can apply for it is January 31st. So talking about that, I'll just give you a little background about the program. So if you want to grow or scale your business, you have a business that's already existing, it's generating revenue, and you want to grow and scale your business, this is the program that you may want to take. And I will give you, like I said, all the details. In 2020, Goldman announced let me kind of start with, in 12 years ago when Goldman started the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, because I get asked all the time, why would Goldman Sachs do that? They decided and determined after looking at data that small businesses were basically the backbone of the United States, that without small businesses, the US economy would not exist as it is. So they decided to invest $500 million into scaling small businesses. And that was across the country. So there are 19 sites across the US that have in-person cohorts for small business owners. So in 2020, they invested another $250 million into reaching the next 10,000, because again, they've already reached the 10,000, because like I said, they're now over 14,000. So 3 years ago, almost 4, they invested another $250 million into the program. So now here we are. Total, these are just some stats about the program. There's been $750 million invested in the businesses across, which I mentioned the initial 500 plus an additional 250 a few years ago. We have meetings across, alumni meetings consistently through whatever market you're in. In addition to, they have nationwide meetings. The last one was in 22, where they flew and Goldman paid for it for businesses around the country to come to DC. And in that, they flew in and they paid key speakers, the owner of Spanx, Ryan Reynolds, Gwyneth Paltrow. They paid different politicians, they had them come and to meet the small business owners. So it was a 4-day summit. So in saying that, these are just some of the stats about the program. Our program, just like all of the others across the country, is a 13-week cohort. It is considered one of the best business cohorts for small businesses in the country, particularly in Chicago. It is considered one of the best. It is an in-person 13-week program. We meet every Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. It is well worth it. We feed you, so you don't pay for any food. We provide snacks, breakfast, lunch. You just pay to get there and do the work. It is like getting an MBA in marketing and in business, because the consistent theme throughout every alumni that has gone through the program has been that you go in a business owner and you come out a CEO. So if you ever thought about scaling your business, this would be the time. You create a growth plan for your business, a 5-year growth plan that will have to be completed, and you will complete that before you for graduation. So you will complete the program with your own 5-year growth plan for your business. Every business owner will have a business advisor that is dedicated to you. So they work with you throughout your time in the program and even afterwards. So you don't just get a business advisor while you're there and that's it. They work with you the entire time on your business, on your growth plan, while you're there, everything. Access to capital and a network of support. The access to capital, we have pitch days, we have the CDFIs, the community development financial institutions that come out to you in the cohort. We go through how to present to the banks, what they're looking for. We have them come to you in the program and they tell you what they're looking for, how to present. They actually help you gain capital. So we provide the access to capital and the network of support. Going through the network, the Goldman network is like basically going through a sorority fraternity. So you can reach out to anybody throughout the country, and if you let them know you're a Goldman alum, they're like, oh, they help you. They don't give you any questions, just knowing that you're a Goldman alum, they automatically help you, because that's just the way the network works. They consider you part of the group and the family. What do we cover? The modules that we have every week focuses on a different thing, a different topic. We go through you and your business, growth opportunities and money metrics. You are the leader. It's the people, marketing and selling, operations, financial planning, understanding what your accountant is doing, because a lot of businesses have their accountant doing their finances. When we're done, you will understand what your accountant is doing. You don't have to do it, and you can still have your accountant, but you don't have to do it. Some people have actually fired their accountants because they realized that their accountant wasn't doing what they needed for their business. And now that they understand the numbers, we basically break it down so that it's not hard to understand. How do you become bankable? These are the things that the business owners have said. Everywhere we go, everybody's always so proud to be a Goldman alum. So just to let you know, if you have any questions, let me know. But we go through everything you see here in the clinic and the module. It's intense, and everybody, again, so it's like getting an MBA, but you have the Goldman Sachs alum reputation behind you. Just a few other statistics about the program. 67% of alum, or people that go through, we call them scholars, that go through the program, increase their revenue within 6 months. 47%, they create new jobs within 6 months. Most of them do business with each other, and 98% graduate. It's tough, but there's support throughout the program. I mean, your cohort is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I am an advocate for the program because it is no cost. All you have to do is go through the program. There is no charge for it. So just qualify for it. Here are some of our alumni. Actually, now it's over 1,200 that have gone through our program. A lot of them you know, and you've seen their businesses throughout the city, but they've gone through the Goldman program. What you have, the 10KSB Alumni Network. So when you graduate the program, you still are connected through an alumni network. And you're not just connected to your cohort, you're connected to everybody in Chicago and all of the 14,000 that are around the country. So if you needed anything, support for anything, or people all the time say, well, do you know anybody that does this? There's always somebody to say, I know somebody that can help you, which is actually very cool. The Voices program is the political division that helps small business owners voice their concerns regarding the taxes, regarding anything political, the laws, and the structures around small business, and it helps them have a voice and make changes with the current laws in their areas. The 10,000 Small Businesses Summit is the one that I told you about, where Goldman flies alumni to wherever the summit is going to be. They pay for it, the alum pays nothing. And they go and they network with alum from across the country. So, in saying that, what are the qualifications? How do I qualify for this? You have to be the owner or co-owner of your business. You have to have 2+ years of owning the business. You need revenue of 75,000 or more. You need 2 full-time employees. But now listen to me when I say 2 full-time employees, and if you have questions about this, please ask now. You as an owner can consider yourself an employee. Okay, so you are an employee, a full-timer, because you own the business or the co-owner of the business. If you have 2 part-time employees, if they're 2 contracted employees, those 2 can be considered a full-timer, which will give you both your 2 full-time employees. So 2 part-timers, 2 contractors, two whatever will create a full-timer. So you plus them will create your 2 full-time employees. If you have any questions before you fill out the application, if anything, just please let me know, because I can tell you how to put it in. So if you put in there, I only have 1 full-timer and 2 temps, or 2 part-timers, then you should qualify. If you only put in there, well, I have a contracted employee, if they're 1098, they still work for you. Those 2 1098 employees should equate to a full-time employee. So that would give you the 2 full-time employees. So those are the 2 things that people have most of the issue with, is the revenue and the employees. But if you have any questions, please let me know. I will be happy to help. And I will answer any questions in just a sec. The summer cohort, we're taking applications for now. The deadline is next Wednesday. This is a hard deadline. Again, if you got questions, let me know, but this is a hard deadline. So if you get it in February 1st, probably won't be accepted. Now, the cohort is still, we're still have, if you want to go to the program, you will have to go to the program on a virtual national basis. So which means it'll be virtual. They're calling it hybrid, but you would take it online, and I guess for the last 4 days or at some point you'd be flown to New York. That's the hybrid program. It is a different dynamic than the one that's in person. I will say, I believe that the one that's in person is more in depth. There's more connectivity. You can touch, feel, talk to a person every week. You can get to know your cohort. You can ask the questions to your people, their instructors that come in, and you have more access to them. As opposed to, there's 150 people usually in the national cohort, which is what people in Chicago would be applying for. The only challenge to that is going to be, they have about 150 now in the national cohort. With the closing of the Chicago market, I'm not sure how many people are going to be in the cohort or how difficult it's going to be to get in. But if you can take it, we have 3 cohorts a year currently. Again, our last cohort for Chicago is going to be the summer cohort that runs May 9th and graduates on August 9th. The national cohort, I understand, is there's 2 cohorts a year. I'm not sure, like, when the next one is going to start. I don't know that information yet. But the states, okay, and I'm looking here, I'm sorry. Some of the states where the program is offered, if you live in an area, the way it works is if you live near an area, so anybody that has, the way it's been running, this is the Chicago market. If you lived in Wisconsin, if you lived Springfield, Northwest Indiana, you would typically attend in person the Chicago market, the Chicago cohort, if you live in any surrounding areas. Now, if you didn't live within 250 miles of an actual site location, then you would apply for the national cohort. So in saying that, now anybody who lives in Chicago, you're going to be applying for the national cohort. My only concern is that it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get into because they already have about 150 people in the current. That's about the limit. Now they're going to add more people that are going to be trying to get into this 150, which will make it a little bit tougher to get into. But those are my thoughts. The sites where they are now, there's New York, Dallas, New York, Dallas, New Orleans. They're closing LA, they're closing Philadelphia. There's North Dakota, South Dakota, they just opened. There's 19 sites across the country. There's Long Beach. Trying to think, there's Texas. I can't remember all of them, but there's 19 sites if you want to go on the website. And it's 10KSB apply. And it'll tell you, give you more information, 10ksapply.com. I had a question. Any other programs for those who don't meet all the requirements? There's plenty of programs. There's so many cohorts out here that if you don't meet the qualifications for our program, and it depends on what level you are at in your business or what phase you're in. The Sunshine Enterprises, they have a really good cohort and they have several. So I am pulling it up. Sunshine Enterprises, they have several, looking it up so I can give you guys the information. So I would check them out. Sunshine Enterprises. New Covenant Development Corp, they have a great one on finances. So if you wanted to, it's like a cohort on your business financially, how to do it, I will look up New Covenant Development Corp. But Sunshine Enterprises has something for, they have different ones, something for everybody. They're really good. And I'm gonna say this, I'm sorry, I'm looking at other questions. Is it free? The Goldman Sachs program is free. SCORE is another one that I don't know if anybody knows about SCORE, but SCORE has a lot of workshops geared towards small business owners. It's great to sign up for it. I sign up for it so I can just see what's out there. MSDC is the Minority Supplier Development Council. It's called MSDC Chicago. M is in Mike, S is in Sam, D is in Doctor, C is in Charlie. MSDC, Minority Supplier and Development Council, Chicago. They have cohorts as well. Let's see here. The WBDC for women. If you have, if you're a woman and you have a business, the WBDC have quite a few different cohorts for women as well. Breed Love and YWCA, they have businesses as well. So YWCA and Breed Love. There's so many out here. Let's see. I can type some of the cohorts here. Sunshine Enterprises. Contact Michael Wade. I'm going to type them in the chat. Any other questions? And I'm going to give his number and I'll put his email in here. Contact Michael Wade at, okay, so any other, so yeah, if you don't qualify for our program, that is totally fine. But it is a great program if you are at the point where you can apply. Okay, so Sunshine Enterprises, the New Covenant Development Corp, they have a financial cohort, and it teaches you about managing your business financially. Let's see. And her name is Doreen. Let's see, what else? The WBDC is for women. Any other questions for me before we end? I'm going through the comments and the questions. Yeah, somebody said, does the cohorts apply to hair businesses as well? Yes, they apply to every business. Most of them are diverse. The Goldman Sachs program is very diverse. We take every business, nonprofit, we take every business. We actually like the cohorts to be diverse. And I didn't mention this, but our cohorts are 35 to 40 people. With the Chicago, how often, the question says, how often does Goldman Sachs offer the cohort? The national cohort, I understand, is twice a year. I don't know the dates, when they start and when they stop yet. The Chicago market is 3 times per year. Most of them are 3 times per year when they have the live sites. Another question, do you have to be in business for 2 years plus for the other businesses to help you too? No. For the other organizations, no. Everyone has its own criteria, but for the Sunshine Enterprises, no. I don't think New Covenant Development Corp, no. Cook County Small Business, they have some things as well. So no. A lot of the ones that are more advanced and they help you scale, those you have to be in business for 2 years. Is the question, is there a component or program to aid in businesses to gain the steps to achieve your requirements? For example, raising the revenue to 75,000 and so on. Yeah, there are. There are, again, that's what those cohorts are for. Sunshine Enterprises, there's another one I did not mention, the Polsky Center. That is from, and they have a really, really good one. Polsky Center is out of University of Chicago. They have an excellent program in Hyde Park. And there is no charge. They have a lot of different things going on out of the Polsky Center. And you can Google it and it'll give you the information. And I am telling you guys this because I did not prepare them. I should have. I'm sorry, I didn't think about it. I'm going through the questions still. Would like to see the names about cohorts. Okay, somebody asked, what's the daily schedule of classes like? Okay, good question. The cohorts are very interactive. This is not you sitting in a classroom just looking and taking notes. That is not how the program works. It is very interactive. Your day goes by very fast. Everything you're working on in the program is not like you're just taking assignments and then you're turning in homework. That's not what this is. Everything you do in this cohort, in our cohort, is working on your business. So it is not a, I do homework, I turn it in, it gets graded kind of thing. Not that. Everything you do, again, is working, it goes towards your business. So we like to say you're working on your business and not just in your business. Every single thing. So it is, you're moving around, you're in groups, you're doing exercises. There's so many different things that are going on during the course of the day. It is not a cohort where you just get in and you're just sitting there taking notes. Nothing like that at all. So daily schedule, it goes, you get there at 8:30. There's introductions and you have growth groups that you're in. So there's a lot going on into it. So I guess to put it that way, it's very interactive. Let's see. Sunshine is, I think Sunshine Enterprises, somebody said, is it free? It is, from what I understand, the last I heard, it was like $99 or based on income. But they're considered one of the really good ones too. Programs for solo owners. As a business owner, if you are a solo owner, you mean a sole proprietor, that's considered a business. This is what I would tell anybody that is not structured. Get your business set up on paper. Even if you are a sole proprietor, get it set up on paper, because the minute you get your business established on paper is really what they consider you to be when they consider you to be in business. So the question was, and I'm just going to reiterate it, since the classes are hybrid, does that mean some of the courses will be live and others recorded lectures? The in-person class that we have here in Chicago is at Harold Washington College every Friday, 8:30 to 5:30. It is live in person. The national cohort is hybrid, which is coming. But currently, the summer cohort that's May 9th through August 9th is going to be live in person. Every Friday, you have to attend 8:30 to 5:30. at Harold Washington College. Okay, let me write this down. Okay, Paul, got your information. I can send this to you. I do have it on paper in a file. So I will send that to you, the names of the cohorts. Let's see here. Okay. I'm just gonna take a picture of this. Let's see. Alexander, I will send you the information. Hold on a minute, and I will send it as soon as I get off the call. Okay, let's see. All right, I got you, Sunil. Jeremy, you're gonna send me your email. So Jeremy, Renee. Okay, so anybody, Jeremy, you gotta send me yours. Okay, Sean, I see you. All right, I got you guys. All right. Okay, I got everybody. I'm taking pictures. I will send everybody an email. As soon as I get off the call. If I miss sending you something, please send me an email or text me. If I happen to miss it, because this is going fast. But I will send the information to you guys already because I have it already broken out. But again, if I miss you, please text me or you can email me and I will shoot it out right to you. Rael, I need the rest of your email. Okay, got it. At Gmail, got it. Simone, I see it. Okay, so I am going to go back to a couple of questions for you guys. So I think I have everybody, but like I said, if I missed you, if I didn't get them, please let me know. I had a couple questions before you guys text me about the cohorts. And I'm going back up. Okay. Okay, what is the amount of pitch competition? We don't have the pitch competitions per se in the cohort, but I will tell you this. We prep you for the we prep you, you'll be pitch ready when we're done. You have to give pitches. We don't give payouts for pitches, but we prep you for the pitches. And I just had a meeting with the City of Chicago Treasurer's Office yesterday, and they want us to have a cohort that preps. Is going to be through the City of Chicago, so you can look for it. I want to say it's US Bank. Look for it because we're going to have a pitch competition that we're going to prep them for because they said we're one of the best in the city prepping businesses for pitches. So we don't give money for pitches. That's part of the program. But I will say that we prep you, and when we prep you, you're ready. They said we were one of the best, and we have their financial. They come in and they actually help the scholars with their pitches, and ours are fabulous. With my advice on maybe using a registered agent that is virtual for a small business that is online. Okay, let's see. I gotta understand that. I'm trying to understand that question. Tamisha, clarify the question. What is your advice on maybe using a registered agent that is virtual for a small business? I'm not sure of the question. Okay, Haroon said, I'm a member of the Polsky Center. It's an amazing place. They are. I love them. They are really cool, really great place for businesses, and they feature the businesses as well. The business in Hyde Park is the Polsky Center, and it's out of the University of Chicago. Another question, Nick said, most cohorts seem to assist existing businesses. Do you happen to have resources for those looking to start their first business? Yep, I do. I will include that as well. And I will tell you who has, I have great information. Uh, Cook County Small Business, they have great resources and they have it broken down on exactly how to start it. But Sunshine Enterprises has a cohort for how to start a business as well. They give you the step-by-steps on how to start it. But Nick, I know you want information on startups, how to start the business. So there is quite a bit for that. Okay, Tamisha, just clarify your question, but I've seen virtual offers like Legal Shield. Okay, when starting a business, need a registered agent. No, you don't need a registered agent like Legal Shield to start a business. You can do that yourself. So Tamisha, you can do that yourself. You don't need Legal Shield to do that for you, and you can do it free. Basically, it depends on what you're looking for and how you want to start the business. If you want to be a sole proprietor LLC, you can go on to the Secretary of State and Illinois Secretary of State, and then apply for an LLC, sole proprietorship, or whatever it is, and then fill out the paperwork and pay the fee. I know an LLC is 150. It's really inexpensive for, I think a sole proprietorship is less. And I don't know for sure, but I think it's less. They'll mail it to you, fill out the application online, pay the fee, and you'll have it in about a week or so. And then you want to get a tax ID number, which is an EIN number. You can do that yourself. It takes 5 minutes with the IRS. 5 minutes. Once you get your business from the Secretary of State, then you want to get an EIN number. Literally, it takes 5 minutes. You need no one else to do it but you, and you're in business. Paul said I do fitness and athletic training for girls, sports. Okay, and volleyball cheer. I will shoot you some info. Fire for you to run in Excel. Great. Let's see here, but I have some information in Cook County. Okay, this person said, I'm not a lawyer, but if you don't get a virtual registered agent, you yourself can act as a registered agent, but then your home address is visible for someone looks up your address with the Secretary of State. When you fill out the application, you don't have to list your home address. You can list a place of business. You can always change it as well. So yes, that is true. If you fill the paperwork out online, you're putting in your home address. Most people don't mind, but if you have an established place of business, you can always change it or, later change the address so you don't have to have it visible. But that would be a plus of having a virtual agent, but it is not a requirement just to have your home address. But most people don't mind that. EIN is so easy. Yes, Paris said it's very easy. Paris, your struggle is registering as a WB, EMB. Yep. Cook County Small Business. What about a virtual address or address for startups to use on the license application? You may be able to. I don't know. Tamisha asked about, can you use a virtual address on your application? I'm not sure if anybody has an answer to that one. I'm not sure because I didn't do that for mine. But there may. Let's see. But yeah, the city has a lot of resources. I actually have them. I will screenshot them and put them into the information that I send you all. And Raimondo said he has video production and he put that in the chat. Great. What type of okay. As Stanley said, they have their virtual address on their LLC. So you can do that. So there you go. Would you have a resource to guide me through the strenuous WBE app to make it easier? Well, Paris, I actually paid someone to do mine. And it was painless. So I actually paid someone to do mine. So it was very easy because I heard the WBE certification, MBE certification was tedious. So I did not do my own. Okay, so WBE and MBE. WBE is Women Business Enterprises and MBE is your Minority Business Enterprises. It basically states that you are a minority-owned business or a woman-owned business. And what that does is once you get the certification for those, on either of those, whatever you qualify for, you qualify for federal grants. You can apply for the state or you can apply for federal certification. But if you apply for Cook County, it's reciprocal for the state. So you can then apply for contracts and grants, knowing that people will do business with you because the government and the state gives more. They have a certain amount whenever there's a contract. Say there's a federal contract, a state contract. They set aside so much money on the contract that a certain percentage of the business or contractors or businesses have to be an MBE or WBE or whatever it is. So they're looking for these minority-owned businesses or female-owned businesses that they can do business with to qualify for those grants and contracts. So I don't know if that explained that, but that's why that's the incentive to become certified, because if you have a business that they may want to give those dollars to, because they have to give, like, say 20%, like say, for instance, you have a contract with the airport and it is whatever the business is, 20% of that contract has to be doing business with an MBE or WBE, for instance. They have to find businesses to do that, to give that contract to give that money to do business with. So you could provide a service as the subcontractor under that business and get some of the money too. I hope that helps. All right, so I need to get all of the information from the chat. If in BACP, I need to get the emails and stuff from the chat. So you guys can keep the chat so that I can get all of the emails and send out all of the information. I will send you guys out the information from the Cook County that I have for the Cook County, how to start a business, as well as the other resources that I have.
I'll make sure Geraldine.
Okay, so I will send everyone an email that I can see here. I have somebody that has Christina Wynn, and it's called the Winners Club. Really quick, because I think I got a couple more minutes left. Christina Wynn is who I did my MBA certification. She's certified. Let's see here. I can give you guys her information. 1 second before time runs out. Let me type it in the chat. Okay, Christina Wynn. Oops. And hold on a minute, let me give you this. Christina and she has a newsletter also and she has a free webinar that she does on Mondays, I think at 7 o'clock, that you can join as well. So you can sign up for her newsletters. They're actually really good. And she's affiliated with a lot of the organizations too. I'm just making sure this is right. Okay, Christina at thewinnersclub.org. Okay, you guys are great. All right, so let's see here. I gave you Christina Wynn. I gave you her email address. I mean, her website information. Sign up for her newsletters, but she also does that, and she's really good at it. But she did mine. She was seamless. So
hi, Audria.
That is it. Is there someone who has to set aside dollars for me for the WBEs to seek out? Delisha. No, but I do have someone that may be able to help you guys who's looking for grants and funding. I can give you her information too. She's an alum of Goldman Sachs. She was cohort 1. We're on cohort 38. I will put this in here really quickly. Her name is Letty Velez. Let me give you her information. She's Letty Velez. I'm going to put her phone number in here because I don't have time to give you her email. 768-3235. There you go. If you guys can get that. She does grants and funding for business owners. Oh, no. Okay, so I will give you guys everybody's information. I'll give you Christina's information, Letty's information, as well. Okay. So that's it, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a great and awesome 2024. If you have any questions, you have my number. I will go back to that. Oops. This is me. So if you have any information, if you need me, here I am. Okay, so I think my time is out, so thank you.
Thank you. If you are a part of the BACP Entrepreneur Certificate Program, you can get credit for joining this webinar by visiting chicago.gov/BACP certificate. To learn more about our upcoming programs, please visit chicago.gov.
Have a great day, everybody. Thank you.
Education.
All right, so you'll hear from me.